Hello everyone. In this video we're going to talk about disassembling, cleaning, and reassembling a bolt carrier group on an AR15. Now before we get started, you're going to be handling your firearm, so may I suggest that you remove all live ammunition from the room you're going to be doing it from. Keep your firearm pointed in a safe direction because you are going to be handling it to remove your bolt carrier, and also make sure that there are no live rounds in the chamber of your firearm. That being said, what am I going to need to clean this bolt carrier? Well, I use a brush, a pick for disassembly, the siphon tube to apply my cleaner to the bolt carrier. I use patches, Q-tips. The cleaners I use are either Hops No. 9 copper cutter or Eliminator by Vortec. The lubricant I use is by AMSOIL. It's AMSOIL Firearms Lubricant. Whenever I do any cleaning on my rifle, pistols, whatever it may be, I always wear nitrile gloves. Just helps protect your hands from the lubricants and the chemicals we use to clean them. So to begin with, what we're going to do here is we're going to remove this cotter pin, and I use the pick for this. Comes out very easy, and I just put it to the side. Now when you turn over your bolt carrier, you very gently have to tap and your firing pin will fall out. And what you're going to do is you're going to push on the front of the bolt so it goes back, and your cam pin right here, you're going to rotate it so it's horizontal with your bolt carrier. And all you have to do is flip it over and it's going to come right out for you. And then you're going to remove the bolt from the bolt carrier. Now, you'll build up carbon around here, and the best way to clean this is just using some type of chemical and let it sit. So in this case, we're just going to put Eliminator on here and we're just going to let that sit. Now inside the bolt carrier, I'm going to do the same thing. I have Eliminator in this little bottle here, and we're just going to spray, we're just going to drop a little bit down in there. Now, generally what I do when I clean my rifle is I break the bolt carrier down first, soak it with the cleaners, and just let it sit while I'm cleaning my rifle. In this case, we're speeding the process up a little bit for the sake of the video. So then what I do is I put 3 patches on the end of my small end of my brush. I make a little ball on it, and then I just put it in there and I just twist it around. And that helps cleans out the entire cavity where your bolt goes and cleans it out really well. You can see there's a little bit of carbon buildup there. Nothing really to write home about. We're going to take this and flip it around. We're going to put a little more Eliminator on here. And we're going to do it again. And that's it. Now you can take a cotton swab if you'd like, put it down in there, and that's going to give you an indication of what you got. Very little carbon down there. Then I take the cotton swab and I clean out where your cam pin goes. And then I'll take a rag and I'll just wipe down the bolt. Get any fouling that may be on the outside of the bolt carrier. For the actual bolt itself, all I do is I take a rag and I wipe the back end of it, just twisting it, and this will take off all your carbon. You do not need to use knives or picks or scrapers of any type. And then I just wipe down the rest of the bolt carrier. I wipe down the rest of the bolts. Then I'll take a brush and I'll brush off the lugs. Oops. Now some people like to take out their extractor. I don't really do that because I change my barrel every year and I always buy a match bolt with it. Then I'll just wipe off the cam pin. And I'll wipe down the firing pin. Now to reassemble this is the complete opposite. I take some AMSOIL Firearms Lubricant and I put it down in the bolt carrier. And I put it where the cam pin goes. And I'll stand that on it and let it go down. Now I put a little bit behind on the bolt. I lubricate the wear points, which is the gas rings and this little rib right here. And now your gas rings have to be offset. So I have There's one ring, there's the other ring, and there's the other. I've had them lined up before. It did not make a difference in the form, fit, and function of the rifle, but I like to offset them. Then what you're gonna do is insert your bolt into your bolt carrier by pushing back. And then you're gonna line up your hole in your bolt carrier. Now, how do I know it's in the right position? Because my ejector, as I look at the bolt carrier from the rear, is facing to the right. Now, this cam pin will only go in one way. So if I reverse this bolt and line up the hole, and I try to put this cam pin in, it will not go in. It has to be with the ejector facing the right. I'm going to take a little drop of oil, put it on the cam pin, and just drop it in. Now I'm going to extend the bolt. I'm going to rotate the cam pin 90 degrees, and then I can take the firing pin, drop a drop of oil on there, and then I'm just going to insert it into the bolt assembly. Now when I insert this cotter pin, I push forward on the firing pin to make sure it's in the correct position. So when I put in the cotter pin, it goes right behind the flange on the firing pin, so when you turn it over, tap it, your firing pin doesn't come out. Now, how do you know if your gas rings are good? All you do is stand your bolt carrier on the bolt, and if it stays extended like this, then your gas rings are good. You don't have to change them. Now, externally, what I do is I'll put a drop of oil on these little ramps that ride inside your upper receiver, and I just lubricate that way. That is the process I use to clean the bolt carrier on my AR-15. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with a few safety tips. Always keep your firearm pointed in a safe direction. Always keep your fingers straight and off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Always keep your firearm unloaded until it is in use. Leave me a comment in the section below. Let me know what you thought of this video. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. I hope to see you on the range, and have a great day.